So for the best part of a fortnight now, I've had my SIM secreted inside of this absolute titan, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. Xiaomi's most thigh-slapping, sausage-swinging smartphone of 2026. And this proper unit boasts some smarty pants like a camera tech, and the kind of hardware in general that'll make your Y-fronts very moist indeed. Now, unfortunately, I don't know the price as I'm actually shooting this review ahead of the official launch, but you don't need to be Russell Grant to know it's going to absolutely batter your wallet. But will it actually be worth that inevitable price tag, and also is it worthy of that Ultra moniker? Well, here's my full Xiaomi 17 Ultra review, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe, ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra is a 6.9 incher, just like Samsung's Galaxy S26 Ultra, but even more of a monster. This 219 gram chunky boy is 8.3 millimeters thick, so it's not quite an iPhone Pro Max, but check out that ruddy camera bump. It's not so much a bump, it's more like a bloody Death Star. When I had to cram this thing into the pocket of one of my tighter pairs of jeans, let's just say that walking was rather uncomfortable, and climbing stairs was particularly perilous. Do it a tad too quickly, and let's just say you'll be singing soprano for weeks. And as for squatting, well, that's right out, unless you never want to walk again. But on the flip side, that comedically massive camera mountain also double functions as a finger shelf, which is absolutely bloody vital when trying to steady the Xiaomi 17 Ultra for one-handed use. And as well as this here black model, you can also grab this phone in white or starlit green. Not much flair to speak of really, just a tiny dinky wee Ultra logo wedged away in a corner, along with a wee bit of red trim for that camera continent. But that matte finish reasonably resistant to fingerprinty, grimy greasiness. But on the whole feels solidly constructed, well put together, apart from the camera tech does rattle somewhat when you move this phone about. You've got a metal frame and you've got that Shield Glass 3.0 up front. Let me tell you, if you thought the Shield Glass 2.0 was tough, this thing's harder than advanced algebra after a half dozen aftershocks. And the Ultra is also IP68 rated, not IP69, which is all the rage. So I wouldn't go spurting any powerful hot jets of liquid onto it if I were you, just in case. And as you would expect from Xiaomi's most premium flagship, you do have the latest, freshest HyperOS version 3. And again, reviewing ahead of the global launch, so I'm not absolutely 100% certain, but you can expect at least 5 OS updates and 6 years of security patching, which is Xiaomi's usual pledge for its flagshipy smartphones. And HyperOS, as always, its same old silly self. Plenty of good points to speak about, like the excellent customization, including, oh yes, that AI dynamic wallpapers feature which can bring any photo on your phone to life, apart from, you know, when it can't. And this is certainly unpredictable, if nothing else. You chuck in a photo, and then who knows what you're gonna get out. Sometimes it's hilarious, sometimes it's creepy, sometimes it's just completely random. It certainly didn't seem to know what to do with our three-legged cat. Quite often, of course, it just had to give him a fourth leg, because it's just like, 3 legs? What's that all about? Now, to be fair, I do love his sassy strut. This one here, he just magically grows a fourth leg again, if only it were that bloody easy. This past fortnight, I haven't seen any ads pop up on my Xiaomi 17 Ultra, although I haven't used the Xiaomi apps a great deal. And thankfully, HyperOS has been a pretty much bug-free experience as well. I've seen very little jank out of it, and certainly less than what I've seen out of iPhones and Pixel smartphones that have already fully launched. But of course, not everyone will get on with HyperOS. It can be rather clunky in places. It is quite a hefty launcher, although thankfully things do tend to run pretty smoothly here on the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. But unfortunately, not even the Ultra model can escape the growing trend of crapware. Got a few bits you'll want to go through and just get rid of before you start using your Xiaomi 17 Ultra, although admittedly a lot less than what you get on the cheaper Xiaomi smartphones. Few. And of course, Xiaomi can't resist copying Apple bollocks, even though it's completely unnecessary. But of course, you've got all the features you'd expect, like eSIM support, the quite random and incredibly niche Xiaomi offline communication, and of course, yes, the obligatory bug-a-ton of AI shenanigans. But hey, if you want to know more about HyperOS version 3, I have spurted out an in-depth dedicated video all about it. The best bits, the worst bits, any hidden little features crammed in there. So go check that out for more on the software side. And it comes with 512 gigs of storage as standard, although my phone's randomly reporting 528 gigs. Sweet bit extra smushed on top. Now, as you'd expect from any kind of flagship smartphone in 2026, that display is an absolute cracker. 6.9-inch Hyper RGB OLED panel, boasting a 2608 by 1200 pixel resolution, so it's bloody big, and it's pretty ruddy crisp as well. All the usual snazzy tech is supported. You got full Dolby Vision as well as HDR10 streaming support in the likes of Netflix. It's poppy and it's crazy bright, easy to see outdoors even under pretty fierce glare. Although naturally here in the UK in February I've had to replicate the fierce glare. My only real complaint would be that in more ambient environments, occasionally the auto brightness could do with just dimming things down a wee bit more. But all the usual eye comfort shenanigans is on board. You've got DC dimming as well if you are sensitive to OLED flicker, and it's LTPO tech ranging from 1 to 120 Hz. So all of your supported apps will look silky as out. And the stereo speaker setup here is pretty beefy, quite loud, could use a bit more bass, to be perfectly honest, but you know, again, I wouldn't listen to music through these things. Definitely hook up a pair of Bluetooth headphones or a speaker. The Bluetooth streaming's been absolutely fine, although cast into Sonos speakers, a little bit patchy here and there. But you know, all the bollocks you'd expect. High-res audio support, you've got Dolby Atmos support stuffed in here as well. And no complaints with the connectivity either. You know, it's been absolutely fine whether it's been on Wi-Fi or a mobile network, out and about, generally dependable. And of course you would expect something with Ultra in its name to be able to happily blaze through the latest games, no worries whatsoever. And the Xiaomi 17 Ultra certainly won't let you down in that respect, as it's powered by the beefiest chipset around, the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, and that's backed by 16 gigs of RAM. So as usual, flawless gameplay on even the trixiest of Android titles like Wuthering Waves. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra scoffs when you max out those graphics, happily handling all of the ridiculous over-the-top action at a perfectly fluid 60 frames per second. And that's even if you're gaming for a solid chunk of the afternoon. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra merely gets slightly warm with an hour or two of non-stop gribbly bashing. You know, it'll help to warm your pinkies a wee bit in this chilly winter weather. That's about it. And as usual, you've got that dedicated HyperOS gaming mode, which is pretty well stocked. Got all the main stuff like do not disturb, brightness toggles, bit of screen recorder action, yada yada. But where the Xiaomi 17 Ultra does somewhat confuse me a wee bit is the battery life. So you've got a 6,000 mAh capacity cell stuffed inside of that chunky old frame. Certainly not one of the biggest. You know, you've got the likes of the OPPO Find X9 Pro, you've got the OnePlus 15, several other smartphones with 7,000 mAh plus batteries. But you know, still a respectable capacity and certainly an upgrade over the previous Ultra that finally hit Blighty. And yet the battery life seems to have gotten worse here. It's not terrible by any means. You know, if I took it fairly easy on the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, just 5 to 6 hours of casual screen on time with, you know, just a bit of messaging, web browsing, Spotify, background listening, that's about it, then I would happily end the day with around 30%-ish battery remaining. However, I am quite a demanding user usually, so when things got a bit more intense, say chuck in an hour or two of Android Auto action, maybe a bit of video chatting or a good bit of camera play, well then usually by the end of those days I would be balls deep in battery saver modes. I'm talking down to the dregs, single digit battery remaining. And it's certainly possible to kill the Xiaomi 17 Ultra stony coldy dead in a single day if you're a bit of a gamer, because this blower only lasts for around 3.5 hours when playing Wuthering Waves on the maximum settings. That is from a full 100% charge. This is one of the shortest results that I've had from any flagship that I've tested lately. So not particularly ultra in the battery department, that's for sure, especially when rivals like the OPPO Find X9 Pro and the OnePlus 15 can happily last a full weekend on a single charge, you know, as long as you don't go too mental with them. But at least if you are running a wee bit low on juice, well, the good news is you've got 90 watt wired charging support and 50 watt wireless charging support, as long as you've got the tech to back that up. And so kiddies, let's conclude this lovely wee Xiaomi 17 Ultra review with a bit of a squint at the old camera tech. You got the usual Leica branded camera shenanigans slapped on here. Of course, that main shooter is a 50 meg Light Fusion 1050L sensor. And that is a massive 1-inch beastie. And that is backed by a 200 megapixel telephoto shooter with the Samsung HPE sensor. This has actually got a mechanical zoom which flips between 75mm and 100mm equivalent focus. And then rounding off the camera tech here on the Xiaomi 17 Ultra is a 50 megapixel Samsung GN5 ultra wide. Now, as always, Xiaomi's camera app is dense, shall we say. It's absolutely packed to the tits with all kinds of different tools and features. So if you come into this thing from like a Pixel smartphone or an iPhone, you'd be like, what the ruddy heck is all this? You've got all the usual stuff you'd expect. You can quickly switch up the resolution of your pics, including a full-on 200 megapixel mode. As long as the lighting's pretty good, you can get full resolution photos. And you've also got one of the best pro modes in the business as well. Again, with the ability to quickly switch up the resolution, you can shoot in RAW format or ultra RAW. And if you don't want to tinker with all of the individual elements like the ISO levels, the white balance, etc., you've got a small number of parameter presets. So swapping to documentary mode, for instance, makes everything look all arty and pretentious. And you do have that dedicated pro video mode once again on board where you can capture a bit of log footage. But for my everyday camera testing, I just stuck the Xiaomi 17 Ultra in the regular photo mode and let that ISP do its thing. And I found the image quality on the whole is superb. You've got a choice between Leica Vibrant and Leica Authentic, which does affect the overall tone. But either way, you can expect the usual atmospheric contrast and lusciously crisp detail capture. Certainly no blanched iPhone-y pics here. Of course, it's in the evenings and low light where the Xiaomi 17 Ultra really waggles its danglies at a lot of the competition, with little impact on the detail levels and the color accuracy. And even when you swap to that telephoto snapper, you can still expect some pretty impressive low light results. Now, speaking of that telephoto shooter, as I mentioned before, the lens can actually physically slide between 75mm and 100mm equivalent focuses. You've also got 85 and 90mm steps in between. As you can see there, it's a pretty seamless process, and it does mean that the Xiaomi 17 Ultra can get away with using just a single sensor for the sort of mid to longer range zooming, though not a huge amount of difference in between the two, as you can see. But anyway, the resultant photos are once again packed with detail, while colours are a similar temperature, so there's no jarring shift in tone. Although, as ever, if you do zoom in a wee bit too far, that AI sharpening will make everything look like some sort of crazy Hyperdream watercolour. Now, if you're trying to shoot kids or animals, anything that couldn't keep still for any amount of money or chin scratches, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra isn't usually daunted. That action mode certainly captures crisp pics even when your subject is on the go with both the regular and the zoom lenses. Even in softer light, it usually does a pretty bang-up job, but you will have to remember to activate that action mode, otherwise you will certainly end up with a bag of blurry bollocks. Now, when I first started using the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, I had to chuck out a large chunk of my portrait pics because the camera had refused to actually focus on my fuzzy buddy, even without much motion. And that is until I had another rummage around in the camera settings and realised that the motion tracking focus was actually switched off by default. I had to switch that back on, and then this sorted the problem right out. Between that and the action mode, then suddenly pretty much every single portrait pic of my cat or my kid, nice and crispy and perfectly in focus. So just kind of annoyed that that isn't a bit more obvious or just switched on by default, because let's face it, a lot of people, they want to be snapping away at their kids and their pets and stuff. As for the video, well, as usual, an absolute wealth of options available. You can record up to 8K resolution footage at 30 frames per second if you so desire. Quite handy if you want to crop in the edit. Otherwise, 4K resolution footage and up to 120 frames per second. And even at that 120 FPS level, you've still got a good bit of Dolby Vision action. Although, yes, naturally, these settings do limit you to a very specific number of focal lengths. But I found the video results again here on the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, even just with the regular video mode, are pretty bloody good. Occasionally can be a wee bit noisy in lower light, but otherwise you can expect bright, poppy and crispy results. The stabilization is fantastic, even when you're walking rather fast. And zooming in and out, also reasonably smooth and easy to do while filming. You can swap between those lenses when shooting Ultra HD Dolby Vision footage, no worries. And the audio quality, pretty decent too, not perturbed by a wee bit of wind. So as long as you speak up a bit, you'll be fine. And up front on the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, you've got yourself a 50 megapixel selfie camera. Yes, you can shoot yourself 50 megapixel selfie photos. Your Uncle Spur absolutely not doing that, not even for the purposes of testing this almighty bugger. You know, selfie pics come out absolutely fine. And you can also record yourself at 4K resolution at up to 60 frames per second with Dolby Vision HDR support. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. The stabilization is smashing. This is certainly more than good enough for a bit of vlogging, as well as, of course, video chatting, etc. And there you have it, my lovelies. That in a delicious wee nutshell is what I reckon of the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, the almightiest of almighty buggers so far in 2026. And while I do like it, I've got to say it's not quite as ultra as I had hoped. It is incredibly chunky, so it's not particularly comfortable to slip into your pants. And while I adore the camera tech, as complex as it is, and the complexity is actually a good thing if you do like fiddle around with different settings and getting different effects, and the performance is excellent too. HyperOS isn't the best software experience. I still prefer alternatives like ColorOS and OxygenOS on those OPPO and OnePlus smartphones. And also that battery life, a bit of a disappointment. I don't know if it's just an early software issue, and if I come back to it in another month or two, then it'll have vastly improved. I'll certainly be checking it out again. So for me, I'd still personally go OPPO Find X9 Pro, but you know, as I say, a lot to love here. I'm just pleased that it is actually coming to Blighty. But what do you reckon of the Xiaomi 17 Ultra? Are you tempted? Definitely let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And while you're down there, hey, why not poke subscribe, ding that notifications bell, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers, everybody. Love you.